let me transfer you.
Switch to Farm Bureau Insurance today and get real service instead of getting really tangled up. For auto, home, life, and health, get the membership advantage. Get Farm Bureau Insurance.
Justin, as a senior, is the confidence going into this tournament this time around different because of the age of your team and the experience it has in these sorts of situations?
Yeah, definitely. You know, us just being together for so long, and this is our last go around in the conference tournament. When we're looking to try and make a big run here, you know, just trying to finish as best we can. You know, our last season here, and everybody's just so motivated to do the best we can and trying to win it all.
Dan, are you confident that you really haven't come across any situations that you haven't seen before because of the experience?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, our experience hopefully will show up, you know, early and often up there, and you know, we're really motivated because you know, I was talking to KA about it before. Like this could kind of finish off our legacy here, you know, win the A10 tournament and get into the NCAA tournament. And, you know, so confidence-wise, we're extremely confident, and we're, you know, extremely motivated to finish this thing off.
Justin, what do you remember more about last year, the win over Xavier or the loss to Temple? Which one sort of resonates more?
Yeah, definitely lost to the Temple in the final. Just knowing that, you know, we were right there with them, you know, most of the game, and just having it kind of slip away, you know, in the later minutes of the game, and just knowing it's tough, and we're just looking to have the opportunity just to make it back there and to win it all this year.
You talk about maybe not necessarily the danger, but I mean looking ahead to the Xaviers and the Temples and having Rhode Island first on Friday.
Yeah, I mean it's dangerous to do that, and I think you know, having 4 seniors, we won't do that. You know, our focus is on Rhode Island. I mean, they beat us here. They came in here and they played great, and they kind of roughed us up. So we're you know, we're excited to have a chance again at them, a little bit of redemption, and you know, we know if we lose, we're putting ourselves in a situation we don't want to be in. So we know we need a win here.
What didn't you do in that first game against Rhode Island that you can change? Because for me, it didn't seem like it's the best matchup for you guys. You feel differently?
No, I mean I think it's a fine matchup. It's just you know, they kind of got out and ran a little bit, and they spread this out on defense a lot. And looking back, you know, we didn't rebound well at all. Me or Justin really didn't have, you know, the impact. We might have had the numbers, but not the impact. And you know, I think we kind of let their shooters go a little bit, and you know, we're going to be a lot more focused, I think, on defense this time around.
Dan, you alluded to NCAA situations in terms of the tournament. You suggested that a win Friday would probably be in your best interest. Could you sort of evaluate how the team feels about your status right now?
Yeah, I think most of the guys know, you know, read the stuff, read all the – everything's out there. Every game that's on, you know, you read into – you see the last 4 in, the first 4 out. There's the commentators talk about it every game. You know, it doesn't even have to do with the game going on, and they talk about it. So I think we all realize what the situation is, and you know, I think that makes us a little more motivated. You know, to because last year we weren't even on this bubble talk or whatever it is. You know, so this year we know the more we win, I mean, the easier it is for us to get in the tournament.
Justin, you kind of feel the same way about not only Rhode Island but also the bubble. I mean, it's just a matter of getting on their shooters and getting on the boards a little bit more. Yeah,
I think we look back on, you know, our loss to Rhode Island earlier this year is we didn't do a great job covering, you know, their better shooters, and the guy Mikic, you know, I think he hit like 6 or 7 threes, and you know, we were focused on it in practice, but obviously it wasn't covered as well as it should have been in the game. And, you know, we just got to focus in better on defense, like Dan said, and, you know, we got to do a much better job of rebounding.
Did you guys watch any of the first-round games yesterday?
Yep. Some crazy stuff going on.
Did you see LaSalle at the end of that one?
Yeah,
we were actually at a team dinner. We were watching it together down to the home team grill. So we were all watching it together, and we saw kind of Bonnie's really falter there. And then the beginning of the GW game, I mean, St. Joseph, the way they play, man, you can get caught up quick.
It's a new season, so, you know, anything can happen. Everybody's trying to play. Everybody's, you know, playing for the same thing. So you see that in all these conference tournaments, you know, it can happen any time.
that nightcap. I mean, Dayton, they look like they could come in here and win in Atlantic City. Win the whole thing. The way they played, the way they scored. So, teams are energized. They're new. And that's we hope to feel the same way, and we hope to show Rhode Island something different.
And obviously, it's not like you didn't know that, but it's nice to sort of see the point driven home before you guys head up there.
Yeah, exactly. Now, you kind of make sure everyone knows. Rhode Island's going to be different. We're different. It's a whole new season, and this is why it's the best time in college basketball.
We're looking forward to getting up to Atlantic City and getting our conference tournament play started. So we feel good about where we are. We feel like we've put ourselves in a very good position, and looking forward to playing Rhode Island on Friday night.
Hey, Chris, how do you feel about your at-large chances? And part B is, how do you think the committee will view your schedule?
Well, as I said on Saturday, I think if the tournament started today, I think we'd be in. A lot can happen with all these other teams who can make runs in their conference tournaments. But I think if it started today, we would be in. It's hard to speak any further than that because I don't know nobody knows what's going to happen the rest of the week. But I think we have put ourselves in good position. I'd say how the committee would view our non-conference schedule.
Yeah.
Well, it's interesting. We tried to play as good of a schedule as we could, and Seton Hall had won 19 games last year. Wake Forest had won over 20, and Arizona State had won 18 games. So I think they would view it that we had a good schedule, that we really tried to schedule a great schedule, and because of maybe some of the teams that we played didn't have as good of years as they usually do, that maybe it didn't turn out quite to be as the best schedule in the country. But I think that it overall was a good schedule, and then I think the flip side would be that we also tried to schedule a great schedule.
Do you have a similar feeling about this team going into this tournament than you did last year when you went all the way to the final?
I think so. There's so many of the same players, guys who have really played well. I think guys who are really looking forward to getting there and playing. And that was similar last year. We felt like the season is really long, but it didn't feel like we were drained emotionally or physically in the least, that we were ready to play. And I feel the same way this year. I think we've managed the season very well. I think even though we have a couple guys who play a ton of minutes, I think they're older. They understand how long the season can be. So I do feel like we're very, very positive and very, kind of well-rested and energized for the tournament.
Justin and Dan, I don't want to say they thought the fixes were easy, but they seem to really understand what you guys need to fix facing Rhode Island compared to when you played them here last year. Just get out on the shooters and get on the boards. Is it as simple as that?
Well, I wouldn't say it's as simple as that, but I would say that there are definite things that we didn't do well against Rhode Island, and not to take anything away from their win, because it was a good road win for them, but there are things that we can do better and that we usually do and are usually traits of our team. So I do hope that we can address those and play better. I think you always have to deal with their pressure and how well do you handle that. And if the game is at a more frenetic pace, I think it favors them. I think we let that happen a little bit here, and that contributes to the outside shooting and the rebounding. So I think if we can kind of get control of the game a little better, which, as I said, often we do, then I think we'll be in good shape.
Does the sort of frenetic Atlantic 10 tournament start on Tuesday, coupled with the fact that you guys did lose, does that sort of drive the point home, especially to the younger guys? Obviously, it's not really an issue with the seniors, but new season, anything can happen.
Absolutely. I think when you're a college basketball fan and the upsets are celebrated and everything's very exciting, that's one thing. When you're in the midst of it and you see that teams that you would never expect to win, and teams go on the road and win. I tell you, it really brings it to light. It really brings the point home how anything can happen, and especially when it's a single elimination tournament.
Do you let yourself, like VCU Old Dominion on Monday, do you keep let yourself look, because that's a team that might steal a bid type thing? Do you let yourself do that, or are you totally focused?
No, you have to watch, and we are focused on what we're trying to do, but you know, number one, I think all of us are college basketball fans first, and you know, it was such a great game and a great tournament. So yeah, and we're aware of the bids that are out there and teams that could steal a bid. So yeah, we watched it, enjoyed the game, and you know, probably a positive result for us.
You feel more confident than before, given the age of your team, given the experience of your team, given the fact that most of these guys have been through this routine before?
Is that for me or for the guy on the phone?
I'm sorry, this is Lou Nardi. Figure out where you guys are.
Right. Do we feel more confident, did you say?
Just with the senior
Yeah.
base team.
It's impressive that you have a cell phone. Yeah, I think so. You know, we feel confident about playing. You know, because it's the A10 tournament and we had a nice run last year. I think that'll help. You know, we go into Boardwalk Hall and they're, you know, for the most part, are positive memories. And with a senior-based team, a team that is faced against a team who we lost to and don't feel like we played very well against, and a team that has kind of made a lot of those adjustments over the course of their time here, then I think we feel pretty confident.